Hi, I'm Chas, and you're watching Chas's Crazy Creations. Today I'm going to take some thrift store finds and flip them into something for your home or yard. Now the first thing I've done is made some soapy water, and this is to clean them, but not only that, sometimes items come with stickers on the bottom and they're hard to get off. This is actually a candle holder from a company, and I'm saving it and recycling it. This one, you can see I tried to pull the tag off and it didn't come all the way off. This is actually from the dollar store because the thrift store wanted to sell this for 4 times as much, literally. This one's from a thrift store, and I know these come off hard, so I'm going to throw that in there. Plus, it's a great opportunity to clean them. Now, this one I had already pulled off the bottom, but I'm going to give it an extra wash since it's time to use it. Now, I'm going to let it soak for 10 minutes, and that usually is enough to make those labels come off easier. So they've been soaking, and I just want to show you how easy these are to remove afterwards. So just come right off. Sometimes there's a little residue, but if you just rub that off, it comes off as well. So that's how simple that is. So I'll go finish washing these and we'll get ready for the next step. So we're going to start with this first base, and the first thing I want to do is give it a little extra weight, just so it's a little more stable. So I've got this white sand from the dollar store, and I'm just going to pour some of that into the base. So here it is filled, and other items you could use would be salt or just beach sand, or you could color this by coloring your salt with food coloring. You could also fill it with rocks or water. It just depends upon where you're going to put it. So now I'm going to set this down here, and we're going to get ready to put the adhesive on top. So you could use silicone, you can use E6000, you could use this Fix-All super glue that I find at the dollar store. And I like to use gloves, and you also want to make sure you're in a ventilated area. But I'm just going to place the glue right around this edge. So I'm just going to go around here, and you can see how I'm getting that on there. So I'll go ahead and finish getting this on here. And the reason I put it on the base first instead of the top is so that I know that I can set it on this. Sometimes I put it on the other end and then I can't get it to attach. It's not centered. So I'm going to take this bowl now and I'm going to place it up on top. Now the great thing about this is you can easily like slide it a little bit if it's not centered, but now that's all there is to it, and I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. Okay, so before I start gluing again, I want to talk about some options. So I'm just going to pull some random things in here. Some of these are from my own house. Some of them are thrift store items. So when you're at the store, do not be afraid to try things on. You get some really great, crazy looks too when you're at the store. So for example, maybe you want to try this one out, or maybe, because you can have colored bottoms, and maybe you like this look on this one better. So, and then in addition to that, try flipping things around because maybe you like the way it sits a different direction better. So it's always fun to mix and match and pick the ones that speak to you and what you're doing. So just have fun with it and then pick the collection that works best for you. So for this one, I am going to use some dollar store rocks. We give these out at Halloween time to kids and call them Charlie Brown rocks, and they love it. It's one of my non-sugary treats that I hand out in addition to our hot apple cider, which you can find that tutorial on the blog as well. So I'm going to go ahead and finish filling this up, and we're going to talk about how we're going to adjust this one at the top to be a little different from the last one. Okay, so I have an old solar light. I had to go dig it out and clean it up a bit, but it came with a different thing, and that thing broke, but this still works. So I'm going to be placing the solar light in here, but you could easily take a solar light from the dollar store or another place, pull it off the edge, and stick it inside. So that way you could have a solar light in yours too. So I'm going to place it inside. Now I'm going to want to still get to this. So I want to be careful when placing this on top what kind of glue I use, because if I use a permanent fix, like adhesive, at some point I'm not going to be able to get to this light. So I'm actually going to use just some hot glue around the edge, because that I will be able to get off again. So I'm just going to tack some hot glue around the edge here. Like so. And then I'm going to place this right on top and let that cool. Okay, so before I take you outside to see these, let's talk about your elements. So one option is to decide where you're placing them. If they're inside your home, then glass is absolutely appropriate. If you're setting them outside, then you might have to think about what your weather is like. Do you have a covered porch they'd be protected in? Do you have a lot of wind? Do you have hail? These kind of things will affect your glass. Now, I live in Colorado and I've had my glass items hold up in all kinds of elements just fine over the years, and it's been great. But I also pick pretty heavy duty glass things, not fragile, when I put them outside. But I'm also going to show you some plastic options as well that look just as good as glass, and other creative things that you can do in addition to this. So as I said, it's really fun to mix and match. So I'm going to show you some other things that I've made with mixing and matching dishes, and we'll show you what these look like outside. So here are some other options. A cup and a plate that I painted white and then added spots with folk art chalk paint in the color white on the top. This one is actually plastic and I adhered it with the super glue. And this last one, I used a technique with Pledge Floor Cleaner and glitter and the paint on the outside of the bowl. And you can find the instructions for the glitter on my blog. By taking dishes and candle holders, I was able to create flowers, by taking some of these candle holders and attaching them to other candle holders, I made flowers. And one of my favorites is my dish angel. Now, although it's winter here, I couldn't resist showing you a quick look of my teapot from the thrift store and my tea cup and saucer. Here they are, and I'm so thrilled with how they turned out. I can't wait to put them in my garden for springtime. And I hope this inspires you to create some thrift store creations for your home. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel and my blog at chascrazycreations.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.